When a dog perks up its ears upon hearing its name, the behavior may seem simple on the surface, yet it reflects a sophisticated interplay of biology, learning, and emotional connection. At its core, this reaction is rooted in the dog's acute auditory system. Dogs possess a far more sensitive range of hearing than humans, capable of detecting higher frequencies and subtle variations in sound. Their ears, especially in breeds with upright or semi-erect structures, are highly mobile and act almost like directional antennas. When a familiar sound, such as their name, is detected, the dog instinctively adjusts its ears to capture the signal more precisely. This physical response is not merely reflexive. It is the first step in a cognitive process that evaluates the importance of the sound. Beyond the biological mechanism lies the element of conditioning. A dog does not inherently understand its name as a label for itself in the abstract way humans do. Instead, it learns through repeated associations. From a young age, when a dog hears its name, it is often followed by meaningful outcomes: food, affection, play, or commands. Over time, the name becomes a powerful auditory cue that predicts something relevant to the dog's experience. This process, known as associative learning, ensures that the dog pays special attention whenever it hears that particular sound. The ear-perking response, therefore, is a visible sign that the dog has recognized a meaningful stimulus and is preparing to respond. Attention also plays a critical role in this behavior. Dogs are highly attuned to their environment, constantly filtering sounds to distinguish between what matters and what does not. In a typical setting filled with background noise, conversations, traffic, or household activity, a dog must prioritize certain signals over others. Its name stands out because it has been reinforced as important. When the dog hears it, the brain shifts into a state of heightened alertness. The ears rise or pivot to better capture the direction and clarity of the sound, signaling that the dog is focusing its attention. This attentional shift is often accompanied by other subtle cues, such as eye movement, head tilting, or a pause in activity. Emotion and social bonding further deepen this reaction. Dogs are social animals that form strong attachments to their human companions. Their name is often spoken in tones that carry emotional weight: warmth, excitement, urgency, or even concern. Over time, dogs learn not only the sound of their name, but also the emotional context in which it is used. When they hear it, they may anticipate interaction, whether positive or corrective. The ear movement, in this sense, reflects both recognition and expectation. It is a moment of connection where the dog acknowledges that communication is directed specifically at it. Another layer to consider is the role of evolutionary adaptation. In the wild, canines rely heavily on their hearing to detect prey, predators, and social cues from their pack. The ability to quickly orient toward a significant sound can mean the difference between safety and danger. Although domesticated dogs live in a different environment, these instincts remain embedded in their behavior. The act of perking ears is an efficient way to gather information, allowing the dog to assess whether a sound requires action. Hearing its name triggers this instinctive mechanism, as it has been categorized as a signal of potential importance. Interestingly, the clarity and consistency with which a dog responds to its name can vary depending on training and environment. Dogs that have experienced consistent, positive reinforcement tend to react more quickly and attentively. In contrast, if a name is used inconsistently or associated with negative experiences, the response may be weaker or even hesitant. This highlights the importance of how humans use a dog's name. It is not merely a label, but a communication tool that shapes the dog's perception and behavior. The physical structure of the ears themselves also influences the visibility of this response. Dogs with erect ears, such as German Shepherds or Siberian Huskies, display a more pronounced ear movement, making the behavior easier to observe. In contrast, Dogs with floppy ears may still adjust their ear position internally, even if the movement is
Dodger.
less noticeable
Good
externally.
boy. Here's your
Regardless of
treat.
ear type, the underlying mechanism remains the same: a combination of auditory detection, cognitive recognition, and attentional focus. Moreover, the ear perking behavior is often part of a broader sequence of actions. After recognizing its name, a dog may look toward the source of the sound, approach the person calling, or await further instruction. This sequence demonstrates that the dog is not only hearing, but also interpreting and responding. The initial ear movement is thus a gateway to more complex interactions, bridging the gap between perception and action. In a broader sense, this simple gesture reveals the depth of communication between humans and dogs. It illustrates how animals can learn to interpret human signals and integrate them into their behavioral repertoire. The dog's response to its name is not based on language in the human sense, but on patterns, associations, and emotional cues. Yet, it achieves a similar outcome: effective communication across species. Ultimately, when a dog perks up its ears upon hearing its name, it is engaging in a multifaceted process that combines instinct, learning, and social connection. The movement of the ears is both a physical adjustment and a symbolic indicator of awareness. It tells us that the dog has recognized something meaningful, is focusing its attention, and is ready to respond. What appears to be a small, almost trivial action is, in reality, a window into the complex inner world of a dog, one shaped by biology, experience, and its unique bond with humans.